guys, welcome back to Release the Craftin'. Priscilla here with a different kind of journal share for you guys today. I don't even know where to start with these. There's so much to say, and I spent a lot of time thinking about whether I was even going to bother filming them. But here we are, so obviously I decided that's what I would do. They're a different kind of journal because this is actually a mini book of shadows, so to speak, for a pagan holiday, a Wiccan holiday that's coming up called Lughnasadh. It's also known as Lammas. I kind of debated about what I was going to say if I was going to do the video because I didn't know how much I wanted to explain or try to convey or anything like that. So I figured I would do what I usually do, and I would just get on here and film and let everything happen, stream of consciousness like I usually do. And if I explain, then I explain, and if I don't, then I don't. But if you guys have any questions, or if there's something you feel like I didn't answer, wasn't clear enough on, please leave a comment down below in the description, and I will go into more detail or clear up anything or anything like that. I just didn't want to make this a 45-hour video where I try to explain the details and intricacies of everything. Plus, there's a lot of, like, symbolism in these books. So, you know, I kind of, like, tackled with myself on whether or not I was going to explain all the little details or if I was just going to explain the journal part of these. So, let's get into it. So, I made these books. They're little mini Book of Shadows just for Lughnasadh, and they're Book of Shadows, not a grimoire. So the difference, and I felt like I'm going to use those terms on my channel coming up, so I wanted to make it clear what the difference was. So Book of Shadows is like a book where you store your knowledge, you know, where you keep your information. You use it like an encyclopedia. It becomes a reference book. And a grimoire is more of a working book where you put down the things that you're doing as you're going along, you know, observation, stuff like that. So it becomes kind of like a journal, and a Book of Shadows would be more like, not like a diary, so to speak, because you wouldn't put, you know, like your day-to-day stuff in there, but where you would keep things that you want to remember and refer back to. So, this is going to be a Book of Shadows for Lughnasadh. The holiday, is a harvest holiday coming up on the 1st of August or the 31st of July, depending on, whatever calendar you tend to pick from. So, what I wanted, and I had this idea because I just bought a book for the holiday, for the Sabbat, Lughnasadh, called Lughnasadh, and I thought, you know, it'd be really fun to have just a book of, like, shadows or a journal or something that I could keep track of the things that I do for the holiday and the ways that I celebrate, or recipes or anything like that I come up with that I could keep, and then, you know, every year I could add to it as the holiday comes back around with anything, you know, that comes up in, like, rituals and spell work and stuff that I wanted to keep in the book, and then it would just be for that holiday specific. So then I was like, okay, well, I just bought this book off of Amazon, and it's part of a set of 8 books for the 8 holidays, and so I was like, well, then I have to make 8 journals. So then I just started to, like, have all these ideas in my head, and then I remembered that there was actually a sort of witchy journal kit that I had seen on Etsy. So I looked up, you know, through all my favorites and finally found the shop again, and the shop is called Sassafras and Treacle, and I'll link her shop down below. So far she has 3 of the 8 holidays for the witch's year printable journal kits, and they are gorgeous, you guys. Like, they're super beautiful. But she had one for Lughnasadh, so I was like, yes, the timing is right, because I have a book, now I'm going to make a journal, and now there's a journal kit. Like, everything, stars are aligned. I was so stoked. So, for the first time in the history of my entire life, you guys, I made a journal in less than a freaking month. So it only took me 2 days, if you can believe it, 2 days to make both of these journals. And it's the craziest thing. I don't know, I feel like I was possessed, you know, like I was a mad woman just making these. They're both exactly the same. I made one for myself and one for a friend. So unfortunately they won't be in my Etsy store, but I'm gonna keep this one. And I'm going to flip through this one so you guys can see this one. This is the one that's going to her. So this video will actually go up the day that she receives it. So you're seeing it. She's got it. Everybody's happy. but I just wanted to show you both of these because I'm just so impressed with myself. It was like a personal goal of mine to make journals faster, and I finally figured it out. And I mean, even though the covers are slightly different because I didn't have the same fabric, like, or enough of the same fabric, both of the books are the same, so I wanted that to be clear. I used up a lot of scraps and stuff in this journal. These were like scrap bits of fabric I had, or, you know, fabric that was large enough to make like traveler's notebooks and stuff, but not large enough to make like a big full-size journal. So I have this really cool, like, upholstery type fabric from April, so I used that on mine because it was a gift and I love it. And then this was a leftover piece. I used the same fabric on the Botanica journal that's in my Etsy store, or the Traveler's Notebook in my Etsy store. But I had enough left to make this little tiny journal, and this came from Shayna, so thank you, Shayna, for this fabric. So what I'm going to do is put this book to the side and flip through this one. And so, for the journal specs, this is a 7 3/4 by 5 1/4 journal. It was kind of a strange size, but I really like how small and, like, handheld it is. You know, it's not, like, too big or unruly or anything like that. I gave it a 1/2 inch spine. So it has a little bit of room to grow, but it's pretty chunky. I don't know if you guys can tell. It's kind of a fat book. And then, I didn't want to make the book itself too lacy because it was going to get used a lot, and, it's not really my aesthetic. But I do like having, like, a big lacy tassel on the side here, so that's what I did. I just tied on a bunch of laces, and sari silk. There's some ribbon in here. There's, like, a fiber in here somewhere, too. But it came out really nice, and I really like it. Plus, it doesn't, really interfere with, like, using the book or writing with the book. And then for the cover, I just dug into, like, my dollar store flower bag and found some flowers that were appropriate for the holiday in the same colors. And then I like this flower because it reminds me of the sun, and it's like a solar holiday. And then I added in some of these little plasticky fern-like leaves, just because I thought they were cute. And then used a button for the center, and then I don't know if I'm in frame. So then I added, like, some of this metal, like, glitter. Like, it's like metallic glass glitter, but it's not glass, it's actually metal. And I keep hitting the camera, so sorry. And then there's, like, some of these, like, nail art stones that I added around it. And they're all, like, gold and silver. And then, for the closure, I used some of this, let's call this caramel latte, colored, sari silk. I don't know what this color is called. Tan, but that doesn't sound pretty. So it's caramel latte now. And then I finally figured out how to wire wrap crystals. And so I'm so excited on that. So I wire wrapped 2 pieces of honey calcite and stuck them onto a bulb pin so they can be taken off, because obviously this wouldn't be a very practical charm to have on the end of a journal. So you can take this off, and she can wear it as a necklace, she can use it as a pendulum, she can hang it up somewhere, she can put it on her altar, whatever she wants to do. I just thought it was appropriate to go with this book, and really just more excited to show off my wire wrapping skills. So, so that's on here. And then we crack this guy open. It came out to have 60 pages altogether, which is crazy because I did not think when I started that it was going to have that many pages, and, you know, like, one thing led to another, and here we are. So, it's a little chunky, and I like it, and I added some beaded charms that I have. Some of them are real gemstones, so there's, like, aventurine carnelian, there's some yellow jasper. Some of the smaller beads are also yellow jasper and carnelian because that's what I had on hand. And then I have these beads that kind of look like amber. They're not real amber, but amber is one of the stones that's also associated with the holiday, so I wanted to put that on here. And then I just made some tabs and stuff. And I mean, I had a lot of fun. I didn't get, like, super crazy with the fibers or anything, but it was fun. So, I'm going to get up to make sure I'm still in frame because I know I've moved this book all over the place. So, here is the inside. So I made a writing board, just a simple little board where I collaged with some embossing powders. And I posted this on my Instagram not too long ago. So that was just like a fun experiment, because I started out just doing this image, and then I was like, well, what if I add some more embossing pattern? And then I just layered and layered a bunch on, and I really like how it came out. There's really not a lot of significance to this, except for the sun and stuff and the honeycomb pattern. But I just wanted to have it because because of that button on the cover. It's not like a very thick book, so there's not a lot to like absorb the impact of writing, so I didn't want the button to interfere, so I just included a writing board with that. And then this is the first page from that kit, you guys. It's just so pretty, and I definitely recommend Sassafras and Treacle's store. She only has a couple of these up, and I'm hoping that she finishes all 8, because like I said, now I have this idea in my head, so now I have to make the full set. But it's got this cute little fox on this little pocket, and in this pocket are some tags from the kit, and I printed them on manila cardstock, so it kind of looks like file folder, but I like that it's not like stark white. So I'm going to probably do that for some more kits coming up. And then on this tag, I just wrote out all like the properties for honey calcite. And I'd have to stand up to see if I'm in frame, but if I am, you could pause it and read what honey calcite is used for if you're like super into gemstones and you want to get yourself one, or know if it's worth getting one. So I just stamped up that tag and stuck that in there so that she would know what honey calcite was used for. And then I have a lot of journal kits that come with these tickets, you guys, and I never know what to do with them, so I usually print out a bunch and I just stare at them and go, well, here's some tickets. But this time I decided to stick the 2 strips of tickets together and turn them into tabs, and I really like how that came out, so I'll probably do that in the future. Like, there's an idea for what you could do with your tickets, because I never really know what to do. So, and I just stuck the tabs in randomly. There's no significance here. The kit came with this liner page on the back, which I really love, and then I added some coffee dyed paper. And I didn't get like too into stamping or washing up everything, because I mean the kit is just so beautiful that I didn't think it really needed a lot of embellishment. Plus I didn't include a lot of blank pages like this, because there's already a lot of writing space in the kit, so I just went with that. And then I found a bunch of images on Pinterest, and just doing a bunch of Google searches that I included in here, so you'll see a bunch of like images like this. I'm not selling the book, so I don't really feel too bad about just taking the images and printing them up. But I just made this into like a little card, and then it just slides back on here. And it was fun. I got to like mine my Pinterest boards to find all these images, what the heck. And then here's a little tiny tag that came in the kit. The kit came with a bunch of ephemera and pockets and stuff like that, and then this is some stuff I printed up. These kids were cute, but I covered them up anyways. No pity. And then, thank you, April, for telling me that you can actually print on vellum, because I never would have thought of that. So I finally went and got a package and printed out an image on this, and I love how it came out. And then I had some of this, like, orange Kool-Aid dyed paper, so I added that in here. And then, probably not going to pull all of these tags off, but they're all just tags with nothing on the back. And that I got off Pinterest. And then, this is like one of those witchy aesthetics that I found, like, there's tons of this on Pinterest, and I have, like, a whole board dedicated to it, and I love it because it just gives me, like nostalgia and, like, feelings and, like, you know, the vibe of the holiday. So I found a couple boards that, like, match this, and so I added those to the book. Oh, and I should pull this off so you can see this page. Really pretty stuff. And then here's some orange graph paper. And the second tab. And then this is just some stationery paper I had in my stash. And then I stamped it with some Distress Oxides in Spice Marmalade, Fossilized Amber, Squeeze Lemonade made it on here a little bit too, and I think the pumpkin one, I don't remember what it's called, pumpkin, whatever. And then here's a baggie that I added to use as a pocket with some more cards on it. So you can see there's like tons and tons of writing space in here, which will be really great. And then I added some ephemera into here. This is a image from a tarot card with the god Lu on it, which is where the holiday gets its name, Lughnasadh. And then here's an Alphonse Mucha, like vellum, not vellum, washi tape paper consistency. It's like washi tape paper sticker that I got off of AliExpress. So I added that in here because it was kind of like harvesty themed. Turn this into like a top loading pocket. Bottom loading, top loading? Bottom loading. I don't know. Topsy-turvy. Up is down. And then I can't put anything back in it. There we go. And then here is some like stationery paper that I got from a Happy Meal. That came with this envelope, which I also got in a Happy Meal, in the same Happy Meal, obviously from the same person. And so there's that, and then the center of the book. And so I stuck this image to the front and washi taped it on a little bit, and then turned it into a little secret pocket. And then inside the envelope is another sheet of that same stationery paper, which I'm not really going to fuss too much with. And then, that just goes on with that big old paper clip charm. And then I made a little side tuck here with another one of those aesthetic boards. This came in the kit. It was supposed to go in that front pocket, but I ended up putting other stuff in that front pocket. So, and then I also added a couple recipe cards because they're fun, and I like to cook for the holidays. So I thought that was relevant. And then I made a little belly band with some more tickets from the kit. And there's a little folding booklet that came in the kit. There's nothing inside. And I had a lot of fun making this, you guys. Like, I don't usually make stuff for myself. So it was fun to do that. And then it was just kind of fun to, like, dig in all my like Pinterest boards and find all this inspiration, and this kit just was really inspiring and got me so excited. So I got another aesthetic board, and I love this one because it has the cactus on it, and you guys know I love succulents and cacti, so that was a really cool find. And then another tag from the kit that I just stapled some lace onto. And the other side of that graph paper, another pocket. See, it's got to be a bottom loading pocket because this is a top loading pocket. I know the terminology. And then here's like a little simple spell thing, and then another tag from the kit, and another tiny tag. I was gonna like string up these little tiny tags, but then, you know, like, ain't nobody got time for that. And let's see. So here's the other side of that little bag, and I just stuffed that with some more printables. Little journaling card spots now. And then I turn this little tiny tag into a tuck spot with this cool little recipe for lavender lemonade, because lavender comes in season in August. I don't know if you guys know. So you can make tons of lavender lemonade in August, and it will be totally delicious because it'll be in season. And then made a little tiny strip of a belly band with some lace. And I added this coloring card because I like to color things. I find it meditative, and I just like to include stuff like that in my journals. And then here's another page from that kit. I really love this one. It's got like these old seed packets and stuff on it. And then here's another Muha sticker. And then there's this little envelope with a tiny paper clip. And this also came in the kit, and I stuck a little tag inside. Mostly because I didn't know what else to stick inside. But I like having little tiny envelopes and stuff like this. Although this little paper clip, I feel like I'm going to lose mine pretty quick because I'm not that careful with stuff. Plus, I don't know if you can't see the rest of my desk, but if you could, you would understand why I would lose it really quickly. So here's the other side of that vellum that I printed on with like a harvest goddess. Just super pretty. And then, oh, there we go. I made a little another tuck spot here. And then the last tab, I used the very last ticket I had because I didn't want to waste anything. I used every single piece that came in the kit. And just took this little tag in here. Some coffee dyed paper. Another journaling card on the last paper clip with a little Llama's prayer. and this really cool bee page, and I love bees too, you guys, so I love this so much. And then I found this really cool lace. I got this in a grab bag from, I think it's Matt's Lace, or it could be Matt S. I don't know how you guys pronounce it, but it's on Etsy, so I'll also link his shop down below because he sells grab bags for like $5, and it came with this really pretty like golden flower lace that kind of reminds me of sunflowers, and I had like only this much, so I had just enough to make 2 pockets, and it was just super cool. So there's a tarot spread for Llamas, and I just stamped this real quick. It is a paint chip card that I just did the back of, so it can be journaled on, and then the other recipe card that I included. And that will do it for this book, this very last page. So like I said, I had a lot of fun with this. I found it all really inspiring. It kind of got me stoked to make more of these little tiny Book of Shadows. If that's something that you're interested in or you'd like to see me do more of on this channel, let me know, because I don't really know what people are into or what they're receptive for. If you guys want to see more witchy things on this channel, I can do that too. I kind of had to think about it and was thinking like, you know, it's released to Craftin', and it's my crafty channel, but, you know, like, crafty can also mean, like, witchcraft, so, if you guys are interested in anything like that, let me know, because I do some stuff, you know, outside of making cool journals that I like to ogle over. So I'm just kind of curious if that's something that people are interested in, then I'll share more of it. If it's not, then I won't, but I'll keep making cool stuff like this, and I'll keep sharing the books and stuff I make. But that's it for me, guys, so thank you so much for watching the video. Please like, comment, or subscribe, or, you know, all 3, if you haven't already. And we'll see you next time. Happy crafting. Bye!